The UTRGV men's and women's basketball teams are now a few games into the season, and you may have noticed some changes to the way things are happening on the court. We explain. One of the newcomers on the UTRGV men's basketball team shows off one of his non-basketball skills. And as UTRGV baseball wraps up its fall season, we take you to the Stake Series. All that and more coming up inside this edition of V Nation.
That's V for Valley,
V for Victory,
and V for Vaqueros.
Hey everyone, and welcome to V Nation. I'm Jonah Goldberg. While watching the first few University of Texas Rio Grande Valley basketball games this season, you may have noticed some differences from last season. And I'm not talking about new personnel or anything like that. I'm talking about the way the game is played. The NCAA made 25 rule changes to men's basketball and 15 to women's basketball this season. So what does that all mean for the UTRGV basketball teams? Michael Aguilar reports.
The NCAA has implemented multiple new rules in the 2015-2016 season in both the men's and women's basketball games that you have to look out for. For the men's, they have added rules to make the game less physical but more strategizing and make the gameplay move much faster.
We've reduced the timeouts by one. Okay, so we have one less available timeout to the coaches. Now combined with that, if you call a timeout within 30 seconds of a media timeout, that timeout then becomes the media timeout. So you used to be able to call timeout and then a media would come right after it again. So now you're losing timeouts that way too. So you got to be a little more prepared and tell the kids you run through it. We're going to have save timeouts for important situations. The other part of the timeout rule is not only have they reduced them, but the kids have to call them during live play. If there's a dead ball, I can call timeout, but if the ball's being dribbled or passed or played, our players have to call timeout. So we've been practicing that a little bit. Reducing the timeouts hopefully will speed up the game, and that's what it's there for. I think speeding up the game is a good thing, but my concern is there's going to be more bad shots taken at the end of the shot clock, and it could end up causing more problems. They reduced the shot clock from 35 seconds to 30 seconds. Okay, so with that, they took away the 5-second closely guarded rule. So now officials don't have to put their time into putting the counts on. And it's kind of hard on the defense because no longer can you guard the ball toughly and get a 5-second count to get a turnover. You're going to have to either steal the ball or trap the ball to get it out of the opponent's hands. You have a 10-second backcourt rule that you have to get the ball across midcourt in 10 seconds. Now if the defense is doing a good job and forces a jump ball, let's say deflects a ball out of bounds, with 2 seconds left on the 10-second, you have to get it across in 2 seconds. You no longer get a new 10-second count. Those are the basic rules. The last one, I guess, that's significant is they took the men's charge line, the circle protecting the basket, and moved it out another foot, which now means you've got to be prepared even earlier if you're going to take charges. You can't be down under the rim. Most of these are put in to try to free up the offense a little and open up the floor. But I think good rule changes overall.
Now for the women's, the most notable changes to the rules, no longer having 2 20-minute halves, but now having 4 10-minute quarters. They will be allowed 3 30-second timeouts and 1 60-second timeout per game. A post player now can place a forearm or an open hand with a bended elbow on an opposing player's back. At the 15th foul of the quarter, teams will be allowed 2 shots per foul, eliminating the one-on-one.
So that's going to make a big change. That's going to be have a lot to do with offense, a lot of stuff that's going on, in the game, scoring-wise, things along that line. Also, 10 seconds on getting across half court. I think that's huge. And then the biggest rule change is in the last minute. If you go down and you get a defensive rebound, you can't advance it. You can call a timeout automatically, call a timeout, and then with our new rules, you're allowed to bring it to half court to run a play. But if you try to advance it, then that's all. You have to get the rebound, secure it, call a timeout, bring it down. It's sort of like if we're on this end, we get a rebound with 3 seconds left, we don't advance it, call timeout, we get the ball at half court. Big advantage. That's an NBA rule that I think is going to make the game a little bit more exciting. We work on them. We go for special game situations. We've got certain things that we like to do, you know, with 10 seconds left, 5 seconds left, things along that line. So it's all good. We've adapted in practice. We've had officials come in and do our orange and gray scrimmages, and they explain the rules. We're fine with the rules.
For V Nation, I'm Michael Aguilar.
UTRGV women's basketball opening up the season against East Carolina, down 18-10 after the first quarter when Shante Goff dials up from long distance. And then Hildur Bjork Karchensdottir follows suit. Then, after a Pirates basket, it's Goff again. Vaqueros within 3. And that sets this up. Raquel Preston's first career three-pointer ties the game. A little later on, it's Anushka Maldonado. The Vaqueros have their first lead. Then check this out, Bernicia Peters from way downtown. And then 2 minutes later, Goff from the same spot. The Vaqueros outscore the Pirates 22-8 in the second, but fall 70-59. 24 hours later, Vaqueros facing Cal Poly, and Nichelle Hyman gets things started on the right foot. Then, after a miss by Preston, it's Karchensdottir with the board and the bucket. Now it's Goff's turn. She scored 39 points in the tournament, en route to all tournament team honors. Next time down the court, Preston goes coast to coast, and then we're back to Hyman. The Vaqueros win this game 66-58, and a big reason for that, the effort of WAC Player of the Week Mary Savoy. One of the greatest games in program history, grabbing 22 rebounds, the second highest single game total in program history, with 20 points, 4 steals, and 3 blocks. As for the men, UTRGV opening the season with an 86-59 loss at Miami, a team receiving votes in the top 25 polls. Shaq Hines had a huge game, tying for the game lead with 18 points on 7 of 14 shooting, while hitting a career-high tying trio of threes. Hines also had a team best 6 rebounds. Dakota Slaughter is a strong basketball player and a great student. He also composed the rap underneath our closing credits, V's Up. But those aren't his only talents. Coming up inside V Nation, UTRGV's own Renaissance man does his best Edward Scissorhands impersonation.
We strive to achieve excellence through determination and hard work.
We are committed to learning from those around us.
Our professors and peers,
our coaches and teammates,
and our opponents.
We compete with integrity and passion.
And we seize our moment when the opportunity arises.
We take pride in our communities
and believe that we can inspire others,
just as they have inspired us.
We may wear different colors, but we share the same purpose.
We learn, we compete, we inspire.
We are
the Western Athletic Conference.
One of the new student athletes on the UTRGV men's basketball team this season is Dakota Slaughter, who came over from Alabama to provide a veteran presence both on and off the court. He's also here to make sure the Vaqueros have haircuts that you can set your watch by. And he started with our very own Romeo Villarreal.
So what prompted you to start learning to cut hair? Like what was the...
Well, going to college, to be honest. So, growing up, my mom used to cut my hair, which was, you know, I mean, it was convenient at times, but I didn't always have the best of haircuts. And my mom would never agree to do anything, you know, too radical or whatever was in style. She kept it pretty basic, and her skills weren't that great. So anyways, when I came to college, I had the opportunity to kind of do whatever I wanted with my hair, but I didn't want to pay to go to a barber, you know, once every 2 weeks or so and spend the 15, 20 bucks or whatever it may be, you know, balling on a budget in college, right? So for a while, my roommate actually cut his own hair, and he agreed to cut mine from time to time. So that worked out for a while, but then, you know, like if I needed a cut before a game or something or some event or whatever, and he wasn't available, I was just kind of out of luck. So he eventually told me, he said, look, man, you know, if you need a cut so bad, figure out how to do it yourself. It's not that hard. So I said, you know what, Eric, you're right, man. You are absolutely right. So I got to YouTube and started experimenting, to be honest. And I've had plenty of bad haircuts throughout my years. But, you know, with enough practice and enough interesting things on YouTube, you start to learn pretty quickly. This is definitely one of the weirdest heads of hair I've ever seen. You just got hair going everywhere, and it's not like you styled it before coming in here.
Right.
So it's definitely a little shorter. It's going to be a little more tame once we're done with this.
Yeah, normally I get a haircut about once a month, but this last month I didn't do it. So I'm going on like 2 months of letting my hair grow out. Tell me about that first time you went at your own hair. What was the experience like? Were you super confident or?
No, absolutely not. Well, I may have had a little bit of confidence, just thinking, you know, this can't be that hard. You really got to be patient, and I think the first few times I did it, I was rather impatient. So I probably had some hurried cuts, or they were just taking too long, and yeah, they weren't that great. And my teammates would let me know pretty quickly when I messed up. So the good thing about that, though, is I always had immediate feedback on my haircuts. They could always tell when I cut my hair, and if I messed something up, they were real quick to let me know. But if I did something right, sometimes I just wouldn't hear anything. Kind of like a coach, like when you do things right, they don't say anything, but when you mess up, you know, they're gonna blow their whistle and really let you know.
Right.
So I got pretty good feedback on what worked, what didn't work, what to try, what not to try, and then over the course of a few months, I got okay at it, and I started to learn what looked good with my, on my head, what kind of haircuts I could do, what kinds I couldn't do, that sort of thing.
I pitched the idea right in the middle of the office, so everybody knew this was happening. And I'm like, damn it.
Pressure's on. They're gonna see you tomorrow and be like, hey, bro, how you looking?
I know.
I want to get a fresh outfit too. Some new shoes.
Yeah.
Or just do the whole thing.
Yeah, just come fully suited and booted tomorrow.
Exactly.
When did you get into basketball? Did you always play basketball or?
Oh yeah, I mean, when you grow up in Indiana, as soon as you come out of the womb, they put a basketball in your hand until you start dribbling. I mean, not really, but that's really what it seems like.
Right.
So yeah, I think I've been playing organized basketball ever since about third grade, since I was about 9 years old.
Right.
And just never really stopped.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, like for people who you cut hair in your own hair, how hard has my hair been to deal with so far?
Well, see, now that I've got a little, it's much more manageable.
Right.
It starts to lay down a little bit, and I can start to style it a little more. So at first it was just pure chaos, to be honest with you. But now we're starting to get somewhere with it. So how much of this are you guys going to use?
Probably about 3 minutes tops. Probably
okay.
4 minutes. So how many haircuts did you give yourself before you finally felt comfortable going with someone else?
Honestly, probably took me the course of a year.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it took me about a year before I really started giving myself some solid cuts, and people started having just enough confidence to go for it and be willing to try me out. So it's a long process, until hours and hours of YouTube videos, hours and hours of trying stuff on myself. Hasn't been easy, but I'm really curious how much money I've saved in the process. Okay, that's looking pretty good back here.
Michael, take a note. We need to find someone from the math department to figure out how much money Dakota saves.
You know what, Michael? I could almost put like a part in his hair right here. You know what I mean? Like it has like that natural part line.
Oh really?
Yeah, give you a little flair. I don't know. You're almost too old for it now.
No, let's do it.
What are you talking about? Let's do it.
Let's do it.
This looks pretty good.
Did it come out good?
It really did. It really does. Let's see. Oh, bro, this looks pretty good. Right in front of your face.
Alrighty. Oh, it looks good, man.
Yes.
I really like the part. It works.
Yes.
Oh. I can work with that, man.
You can check it out in the mirror and then do
Yeah.
the whole. Check out the back and stuff.
How do I do it? Just like this?
Yeah, I guess. I don't really want to see it.
It's a lot straighter than I've had it before. The rounded.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, I like it. It's good.
Hell yeah.
Want to get rewarded just for tweeting, Facebooking, and Instagramming about UTRGV athletics? Maybe get bonus points for checking in at home events? Now you can. Download the VFan Rewards app on your smartphone today. It's a free download, and you can earn points to win prizes such as backpacks, hats, shirts, water bottles, and more. Need more information? Then log on to VFanRewards.com. UTRGV Baseball's annual Stake Series is always a big deal, but this year it attracted a special visitor. Coming up inside V Nation, we take you to the field and hear from Los Angeles Dodgers 10th round pick and former student athlete Logan Landon. The University of Texas Rio Grande Valley baseball team wrapped up fall practices last week with the first two legs of its annual Stake Series. Yeah, you heard me right, Stake Series. It's one of the most exciting times of the year.
It's an event with three points: the Fall World Series, the obstacle course, and then the GPA. And whoever gets 2 points gets to eat a great steak with all the fixings and the trimmings. And also gets a private butler, which the butler is the player, the losing player that played your position on the other team, while the other team only gets to eat hamburgers. Now, we first started with just the World Series. As a matter of fact, the second point after the World Series was the GPA. But then all of a sudden you ran into the problem that one team would win one and the other team would win the other. So we had to come up with a third one, and then the third one was the obstacle course, because and again, it just started with okay, the World Series, we're going to eat steaks, but they said, you know what, we can make it a little bit more interesting. Let's push them so they can get good grades. But the first year that one team won the Fall World Series and the other team won the GPA race, then all of a sudden, okay, now it's a tie, and it was costing too much money to feed everybody steaks. So we decided we need a tiebreaker, and that's where we came up with the obstacle course.
The gray team swept through the Fall World Series with 6-3 and 2-1 victories, but the orange team tied things up with a win in the obstacle course, meaning that the competition comes down to best fall GPA. But even more importantly, this competition allowed the Vaqueros to see just how far they've come this fall.
And particularly offensively, we've gotten a lot better. They're beginning to understand, how to hit, how to think, how to come to every at bat with a plan, with an approach. Also defensively, I think we've gotten a lot better. And obviously with the base running, we've also improved. So it's been a combination of the different facets of the game, but overall as a team, we've come 180 degrees where we were our first fall practice.
Really, we've just come together. I think the difference between last year and this year, we've kind of gelled a little bit more. And we're running on all aspects of the game right now. So now we're just up for Christmas break, see if people will keep this momentum going into the season.
The Stake Series attracted a nice crowd, including former player and current Los Angeles Dodgers minor leaguer Logan Landon, who liked what he saw.
Squad looks good right now. I haven't really seen too much of them, but they really look like they're coming together as a team right now. It's always good to come back here and see what kind of recruits they brought in. What guys are going to step up after the seniors last year left. So really enjoyed coming out and watching these guys play. Really anticipating them having a good season, making a run at the WAC. Got some good young talented players. They got some guys coming back that are going to make a good contribution to the team. So I'm looking for them to do some big things here in the WAC this year.
We'll see more from Landon later this month. But first, UTRGV Volleyball visiting Utah Valley. Opening set, Vaqueros down 2-7, but not for long. First, the block by Bojana Mitrovic and Alexandra Ecker, and then Mitrovic with kills not once, but twice. A little later on, Vaqueros on the comeback trail, and it's deja vu all over again. Back-to-back kills for Mitrovic. Move ahead, Vaqueros down 22-23, but Haley Durham ties the set. Dubravka Vakoya serves up an ace, and then Alicia Watson and Joanna Baronchik finish the job. Vaqueros take the set 25-23, drop the match 1-3. With the regular season complete, here's a look at the WAC Tournament bracket. UTRGV is the number 6 seed, opening the tournament against 3rd-seeded Utah Valley on Thursday at 5. The winner takes on 2nd-seeded CSU Bakersfield in the semifinals Friday at 5.
Every time we've played them, they've pretty much done what we expected out of them. They're heavy out of the middle, quality on the outside with their freshmen, and we have to do a better job of doing our responsibility. We know they're going to come with their jump serve from 4 or 5 kids, and we didn't do a very good job of handling that up there and put ourselves in some holes, but it's also a team that we feel like we can compete with.
UTRGV Cross Country closing out the season at the NCAA Regionals with a pair of huge showings. Jose Juan Wells earned 2nd team All-Region honors after coming in 25th. But how about Jennifer Zapata? Her time of 21:15.2 is a new program record.
I think we had a really good regional meet. I won't call it fantastic, but we definitely went out and achieved. You know, Wells went out and finally ran, like he's supposed to be, executed very well, got top 25, all region. That's fantastic for him, just running better than he has before. Jennifer, same thing, just came into her own, breaking the program record, running the fastest 6K in history, just a fantastic job for the two of them.
Want to help prepare our student athletes for excellence in life? Then it's time to become a part of something bigger and support V Nation by joining the V Club. You can become a member of the V Club for just $100 a year. All of the proceeds go directly to student-athlete scholarships, so visit GoUTRGV.com today to see how you can make a meaningful impact on the lives of student-athletes.
We strive to achieve excellence through determination and hard work.
We are committed to winning from those around us.
Our professors and peers,
our coaches and teammates,
and our opponents.
We compete with integrity and passion.
And we seize our moment when the opportunity arises.
We take pride in our communities
and believe that we can inspire others,
just as they have inspired us.
We may wear different colors, but we share the same purpose.
We learn, we compete, we inspire.
We are
the Western Athletic Conference.
Here's what's coming up inside V Nation this week. UTRGV men's basketball has its home opener on Friday at 7 against Texas A&M Kingsville. It's the start of a 3-game homestand as the Vaqueros host Portland State Sunday at 2 and Southeast Missouri State Tuesday at 7. UTRGV women's basketball is also at home this week, playing in just over an hour and a half against Texas Lutheran. Elsewhere, the WAC Volleyball Tournament starts on Thursday as UTRGV faces Utah Valley in Kansas City. We want to thank you for stamping your passport in V Nation this week. Schedule another visit for next week. But until then,
we ready for you.
Tell them B's up, crowd rowdy while we out here getting threes up. This is madness, man, who wouldn't wanna be us? Ain't nothing to hold us down, so the B's up. Get those B's up, tell them B's up. Crowd rowdy while we out here getting threes up. This is madness, man, who wouldn't wanna be us? Ain't nothing to hold us down, so the B's up. Get those B's up, yeah, B's up. Yeah, tell them B's up. Yeah, get those B's up. Yeah, ain't nothing to hold us down, so the B's up.
We strive to achieve excellence through determination and hard work.
We are committed to winning from those around us.
Our professors and peers,
our coaches and teammates,
and our opponents.
We compete with integrity and passion.
And we seize our moment when the opportunity arises.
We take pride in our communities
and believe that we can inspire others,
just as they have inspired us.
We may wear different colors, but we share the same purpose.
We learn, we compete, we inspire.
We are
the Western Athletic Conference.